This song was written. There's actually two people in this room that I didn't know were coming. That were kind of in my life and in a part of our lives in a big way. Keith Burns and Ira Dean and I, when we were first starting out with Trick Pony. And thank you. And so, long story short, you know, nobody. This is a rule for those of you who are new to Nashville and you know, learning how. Let me tell you something. Nobody, the first song that you ever write together ends up being your first single. It just never happens. And one day I was, we were over at Keith Burns' his old house, which was over in Smyrna, Tennessee, which is actually his ex-wife's new house, but that's a whole different ball of wax. And so a whole other bottle of wine, as they say. And we were sitting there up in there in what used to be his kind of game room, the man cave, and we sat down and wrote this next song, and we played it over the course of 4.5 years or so, maybe on the road. And little did we know that in the year 2000 we would get signed to Warner Brothers, and that they fell in love with this song. And the two people I'm speaking of is Will and Kaylee Freeman, who are sitting right back here. And Will, yes, that big guy. The reason they deserve an applause is because they've been dear friends for years and years, number one. Number two, because to be our friends is hard. And number two, he was the general manager of the Wild Horse Saloon. And at the time, for many years on 2nd Avenue here, you know, that was the place. That's the hub of, you know, of kind of not only, you know, folks coming into town checking out Nashville for the first time, but also, you know, a lot of bands, up and comers. And so Will was very, very good to us and a very personal, dear friend. And then he married Kaylee, who is completely nuts. And we just adore her. And so it's all one big happy family. There's a few folks in here that are family like that. So we'll just see what happens here. Kyle, what do you think? Are you feeling all right tonight? Are you today? Super. One of the most obnoxious songs ever. Here we go. Pour me, pour me, pour me, pour me another shot of whiskey. Bartender, hit me one more time. He left, I cried. I'm lost inside, won't you help me? I said, pin it to the top, cause I hit it right bottom this time. Well, I don't wanna listen to the old jukebox. Don't you put no quarters in the slide. I don't wanna talk and I don't wanna dance. I damn sure ain't looking for romance. Don't wanna hang out with the crowd. I don't wanna party and get real loud. Believe me when I tell you that I thought this through. There's only one thing that I want you to do. Pour me, come on, pour me, pour me, pour me another shot of whiskey. Bartender, hit me one more time. You left and I cried. Here's my story, it's sad but it's true. So many things that I never knew. He loved to party and he loved to dance. Loved to get loud every time he had the chance. I always thought he was a simple-minded okie. Little did I know he was a king of karaoke. Was everything that a man should be. Problem was that it wasn't me. Poor me, poor me, poor me, poor me. Not a shot of whiskey. Bartender hit me one more time. He lived and I cried. I'm lost inside, won't you help me? I said, feeling to the top, cause I hit a rock bottom this time. Yeah. Won't you feel it to the top, cause I hit a rock bottom this time. I said, feel it to the top, I hit a rock bottom this time. Yeah. Oh,